Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuna Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Last week we finished the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we start the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Dhyana Yoga, the yoga of meditation. I've come across so many people when they go through difficulties in their life, when they go through trials and tribulations, they want to meditate. Actually, meditation will not help at that time. Meditation is not to be entered into when we are in the agitated state of mind. So we have to understand what is meditation. And only when we understand what meditation is, we will be able to employ true meditation in the field where, or on the platform where it truly belongs. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna in his agitated state of mind. He's disturbed. He cannot fathom what is about to happen. He's upset with the cards that he has been dealt with. And he finds so many reasons why he should not tackle life head on. This is an issue. And Bhagavan realized that Arjuna has not quite understood the meaning, the purpose of life. So Bhagavan starts talking only after Arjuna admits that he's lost. And he does not know what is going on in life. And he admits, Lord, I'm willing to be your student. Teach me, instruct me. And these keywords allowed Bhagavan to open his mouth. If he had not heard these words, Bhagavan would not have opened his mouth, you know. And there is a reason behind it. Some of you are parents, and you know, the kids, when they grow up in teenage years, and as they move out of teenage years, they make certain decisions in life. And you and I, as adults, we have so many years of life experience, and we are much ahead, at least in the age game. And when we look at a decision that they make, and we are like, what? And we are so tempted to correct them. A 21-year-old or 23-year-old, and we are tempted to correct them. And you know, the minute we open our mouth and we correct them, we hear, I know what I'm doing. Then they feel bad that mom and dad don't appreciate the decisions I'm making. And we feel bad that I know so much, they are not listening. So Bhagavan Krishna has understood. Bhagavan Krishna has understood Arjuna making mistakes in life. And Bhagavan has seen Arjuna make so many mistakes. His entire life, Bhagavan has never opened his mouth. Imagine they were in forest together for 14 years. They were in Indraprastha together. Bhagavan never advised Arjuna. He just accepted whatever Pandavas did. He appreciated the fact that at least they tried to do their best to walk the path of dharma. That Bhagavan appreciated it. And for that, he silently observed. He never, clapped his hands and said, yeah, Yudhishthir, Arjuna, good. Decisions are right. You are on the path of dharma. Bhagavan silently observed. He nodded. If asked, he replied, and he remained quiet. This is the first time in the beginning of second chapter, Arjuna says, I am lost. Please teach me. And do you know the age of Arjuna at this time? He was 76 years old. And Bhagavan Krishna, 116 years old. This is their age when the war was about to start. Bhagavan never said a word. But now a 76-year-old man is asking, Lord, guide me. And Bhagavan starts talking. And he painted the picture of the goal of human life. First thing he does when Bhagavan speaks is he paints a picture of the goal of human life. Shlokas 11 through 30 in second chapter describes what absolute goal is. Difficult for Arjuna to fathom that. So the third chapter came down to teach Arjuna the relative goal of life over here. Absolute goal was first discussed. It went over the head. So then third chapter, Bhagavan came all the way down over here. When Arjuna meets the world of objects, how should his behavior be? So Bhagavan came down to this level of behavior. What is proper conduct in living? What is proper attitude when one embraces life? Like in English, when we say, when the rubber tire of the car meets the road, you know? When the jiva meets the world, what should the attitude of the jiva be? How should the jiva process the world of objects? How should the jiva process the world of situations and the world of people? This is what Bhagavan addresses in the third chapter. A relative goal is painted beautifully. And then Bhagavan stretches that on the canvas of chapters 4 and chapters 5. Bhagavan takes the relative goal and he massages it into perfection in action. And when that is done, Bhagavan now assumes the fact that in doing so, if one has gone through the third chapter, the fourth chapter, and the fifth chapter, this jiva, this antakarana is comfortable in its skin. The mind is comfortable. The intellect has not realized, but the intellect has understood that there exists a higher goal. The mind has understood that it needs to follow the intellect. And the mind has understood that if it chases more and more and more objects on the outside and dreams on the inside, if the mind chases all this, it will be in a perpetual state of sorrow and sadness. And thus the mind has understood the futility of chasing things on the outside and chasing dreams or unfinished desires on the inside. When one goes through Karma Yoga, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and Karma Sannyasa Yoga, these three chapters, when a person goes through them, this mind becomes a very beautiful mind. And what are the signs of a beautiful mind? Mind you, it has not realized, okay? The person is not a realized soul, but the person is content with whatever life throws at this person. They are okay. Number two, when sour lemons are thrown, the mind does not get upset. Why me? Why sour lemons? That mind learns to make lemonade. Very important. The mind has understood that if I want to live in this world, and if I want to be comfortable in my own skin, in my own equipment, I better accept whatever life throws at me. My peace of mind, my peace of mind is independent of what life throws at me. This is what the person has understood. Just recently, somebody is going through a breakup of a relationship. And these are turbulent times when the relationship goes sour and they've decided to part away from each other. Children are also involved. Now imagine how much mental unrest there may be for this person. And it is that person who told me, I'm going to start meditating. And I told that person, this is not the time for meditation. The position of the chapter on meditation is 6th in series. So I told that person, meet life head on. It is okay. You're going through divorce. Be as cordial with life as possible. As difficult as it is, have difficult conversations about house, about wealth, about children, custody, who gets what. Deal with it in a very rational manner. Do not bring emotions. Let the mind soak in the turbulent times. Take a break, sit down, and go for a walk. Listen to some music. Watch a movie. I gave so many tips, but I told them, do not meditate. Because if the mind is not prepared and we sit down for meditation, that mind's agitation will go up exponentially. The mind has to be meditation worthy for it to be in meditation. That's all. Gurudev used to say, if you take your car on a long trip journey from coast to coast, California to New York, it better be journey worthy. You don't want to reach Nevada and it break down and you still have 20 more states to cross. So if we are taking a car on a long journey of 3,000 miles, we get tune-up done, we get oil change, we make sure everything is taken care of, and then we take the car out on the road. Simple. Same thing with meditation. If we are not prepared, we should not enter meditation. But what we should do is, in the meantime, prepare ourselves for meditation. That's all. And the preparation is how well we deal with life. It's chapters 3, 4, and 5. Bus. Chapter 3 allows us to meet our life head on, but this time with the attitude of surrender. I will trust what Bhagwan is doing to me. Simple trust. I'm making a pause over here because process this. Very important to process it. Loss of health, loss of kith and kin, loss of wealth, loss of job, loss of financial stability, loss of political stability. So many things disturb us in our life. Last 2 days, tornadoes flattened much of Kentucky, and some cities were leveled. And the news channels, they are interviewing people and they are so emotional about it. And we can empathize with them. And we should. But in one interview, this one lady very calmly said, in couple hours, I found my dog. I lost everything. Home is gone. The city has opened up shelter. I'll go over there and I'll find ways to put my life back together. I felt this woman has understood 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In such grave situations where she's lost everything, she said, I'm so happy I found my dog in the rubble. Now the 2 of us will go to a shelter and I'll find a plan to rebuild. Bus. And that person interviewing was baffled. But this is called art in living. We don't know what is going to happen in the next second. How much are we going to torture and torment us for situations which are not in our control? That is Karma Yoga. We don't know where that God is, who that God is, what is my relationship. Just simple trust, He's there. And it'll be okay. Simple Shraddha in life. That worry has to be tossed out. Worry about the child, worry about the spouse, worry about the property, worry about and if there is nothing to worry about, I have no worries. Are Bhagwan. Somebody came and Swamiji, am I normal? I have no worries. I worry that I don't have any worries. I said, enjoy. What are you talking about? Now you enter meditation when you have no worries. So, I am taking time to introduce the chapter on meditation because it is important for us to understand. Life will throw so many things at us. But we have to learn to keep the head up, be grateful, and move on and move on. Because in that understanding that Bhagavan is there and I trust him and what he's doing, and in that trust, I even take my own set of worries and leave at the feet of Bhagavan Narayan. Lord, you are the Shrushti Palan Karta. You will take care of me. I'm fine. And whatever I have to go through, I have to go through it. You have elected me to go through it, so I will. These simple adjustments of our mind is what Bhagavan Krishna beautifully packages as Karma Yoga. Karma is action. Yoga is when we are united with a proper thought pattern. That is called yoga. Yoga karma sukaushalam. Dexterity in action is called yoga. There are so many ways in which an action can be done. What is the best way? And for the best way an action to come out is, number one, accept what is happening. And number two, let me do my best in spite of failing health, in spite of sour lemons. I am delivering my best to Bhagavan Bas. This process of living life actually heals us. The fragmented mind chopped up into pieces will become whole. Without even meeting Bhagavan, the antakarana will bind. In one simple act of getting rid of our complaints, we heal ourselves. And we heal ourselves from inside out, not outside in. The Tylenols and the ibuprofens will temporarily take care of the pain. But the perpetual pain that emanates from within, proper understanding will get rid of it. That's all. Otherwise, we will be in pain. This is what Bhagavan wants us to get out of chapters 3, 4, and 5. One is karma yoga, properly uniting with action. Jnana karma sannyas, 4th chapter, learn to do an action but disassociate from the fruits of action. What does that mean? Let me just deliver my best. And whatever Bhagavan has to give, that is his territory. If I say, अरे हमने तो इतनी सारी मेहनत की लेकिन कुछ भी उसमें से निकला नहीं, then we have still ways to go. Karma sannyas is I'm actually giving up the fruit of karma. The karma phala I'm giving up, and a karma continues. Because each karma brings about karma phala. And most of us act upon action because there is a desire for certain outcome. And when that is removed, and then the last one, 5th chapter, karma sannyas. Mentally, having understood, Lord is the one who does everything. I am simply an instrument in his hand. That's all. Action comes through me, not from me. Very important. And for that, I should be willing to be an instrument and allow action to come out. And this is what we saw as a description of a person who has transgressed all types of action. Now that this person is peaceful in mind, they are happy, they're accepting of life for whatever life is delivering, and they are delivering their best to Bhagavan, offering their best to Bhagavan. Such people who are already peaceful, now they should enter meditation. So meditation is for people who have integrated their equipment and now they desire to abide in the higher. that is a true meditator. Meditation will not give, so many people think that, oh, I will get moksha by meditation. No, moksha is not a product to be acquired through a path. Moksha, we already are free to begin with. Moksha is in knowledge. I have to know that I'm liberated. That's all. Meditation is also not for acquiring knowledge. Knowledge is a function of knowing. That's all. I have to know that my name is Swami Shivatmananda. I don't have to meditate to know that my name is Swami Shivatmananda. That's it. If I have to meditate every morning 10 hours, my name is Swami Shivatmananda, that's madness. So meditation is not for knowledge. Knowledge is to be known. For that, the equipment is given. Then meditation is not for siddhis. Some people want, so many siddhis. It can, but that's not the purpose of meditation. Meditation is also not for peace of mind. Peace of mind arrives from acceptance and knowledge. So we have to know then what is meditation. So meditation is once this blue stuff known as antakarana, once it is integrated, that integrated equipment now has a desire to know its Lord. Who is my Lord? Who is my Bhagavan? And that is in two phases. First stage is called Upasana Dhyanam, and that Upasana Dhyanam is Saguna. Like me meditating on Lord Shiva. When I meditate upon Lord Shiva, I meditate upon his divine meditative form, sitting on Kailasha, Gangaji flowing from his head, Mother Parvati seated next to him, Nandi the bull in front of him. These are all the tools that Shiva Purana gives us to help facilitate meditation on Shiva. And then Ramayana gives us tools to meditate upon Rama, Bhagavatam on Krishna, Vishnu Purana on Vishnu. It goes various Devi Bhagavatam for Devi. So the mind, when it is quiet, we take it into a very fertile arena which it has not yet experienced. And it is the arena of Rama, Krishna, Devi, Hanuman. You pick whichever fertile field of experience. And the more that mind dives and dwells in it, more that mind will become subtle in that field. up to the point where the mind will be able to penetrate that subtle energy of Shiva and be in quote unquote samadhi of Shiva. This is what meditation is. Second type of meditation is nididhyasana dhyanam. So Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan. These are the three levels of acquisition of knowledge. Shravanam is hearing about it from a competent teacher for a length of time. And Mananan is reflection to remove all the wrong notions about it. Shravanam removes ignorance. Mananan removes doubts. And then deep meditation removes tendencies. These are tendencies. Our vasanas, our desires are purged in deep meditation. Because we grow in conviction, and that conviction nips it in the bud. And we remove the pressure of vasanas and our tendencies, our habitual ways of living, it is eradicated. That is deep meditation. And this is what this chapter is about. Nididhyasana dhyanam. Because it is 6th chapter. Bhagavan is assuming that we have gone through chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Bhagavan is not going to give us meditation on Krishna. That would be upasana, dhyanam. He's not going to say, Arjuna, I as a charioteer am playing flute and then having a peacock feather and then yellow clothes, pitambara, shyamala komalangam. None of these things Bhagavan is going to say. Bhagavan is going to dive deep into what is absolute. And that Bhagavan will lead us through the uprooting of our tendencies so the antakarana can dwell over here. That is what this chapter is. So, upon having this little bit of introduction, we will enter and we will have to look at what is meditation, who is the meditator, how to meditate, what is the purpose of meditation, what is the object of meditation, and what is the fruit of this meditation. These few things we will gain from this chapter. This is, in a nutshell, what Bhagavan is going to address in this chapter. So the 6th chapter starts out with Karma Yoga. Imagine. Again, Bhagavan goes back to the 3rd chapter. First 2 shlokas of chapter 6 is a summary of chapters 3, 4, and 5. My entire this 45-minute talk, what I just gave right now, is what Bhagavan is going to say in the 2 shlokas, first 2 shlokas of chapter 6. He summarizes what has been said so that he can proceed further. Okay. Atha shashtodhyayah Shri Bhagavanuvacha Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyah. So Bhagavan says yaha in first line, the last word is yaha. So he, whoever. Who is that? Yaha karma phalam anashritaha, the person. Karma phala, the fruit of action. Anashritaha, not depending upon the fruits of action. Karyam karma, the person does action. Karyam karma chakaroti, a person does action. So what I have basically summarized, the person does action, doesn't get dejected, accepts all that is happening, doesn't hanker after a particular fruit. अगर भगवान को देना है तो देंगे, नहीं देना है वो भी ठीक है. But I am privileged to serve my Lord. Bas. Such a person, saha sannyasi. Now Bhagavan is bringing a new word. That such a person is sannyasi. Why? Because when we sit down for meditation, if one thing we are attached to, we won't be able to meditate. So typically we see sannyasi is meditating. So Bhagavan says, sa sannyasi, cha yogi cha. And such a person is yogi, karma yogi and jnana yogi. Sannyasi also is jnana yogi. Naniragnir na chakriyaha. And not just a person cha akriyaha, the person who doesn't do any action, nor na niragnihi. A sannyasi is a one who has renounced fire ritual. So not just the person who has renounced fire ritual. Like a sannyasi cannot do Ganapati Homam for their sake. They cannot do Navagraha Homam for their sake. They are not allowed to do such fire rituals because they've given up their attachment to the body itself. They've done the last rites on the body. So fire ritual is invocation of a fire god so that the desire, the prayer can be transferred to the higher worlds via the courier service of the fire god so that appropriate fruits of action can be earned. This is called Agni Karma. This is called Karma Kand. If there is a desire, for that desire to be fulfilled, an action has to be done. Typically, a fire ritual is an insignia of a desire prompted action, because you have to invoke the courier god called Agni, and with the Havis and the Swaha mantras, they have to be oblated into the fire, and that fire takes that desire which is oblated into the fire to the appropriate devata, so that the person can get appropriate results. So fire ritual and our karma kand, it is a science. Just like in chemistry, we study the periodic table of elements, and then there's some classified as acids and some as base, so on and so forth, some metals, some heavy metals, gases, noble gases, or so many things in the world of chemistry. There is a classification for everything. In zoology, in biology, there is classification of life, phylum, genus, species. All this is there. Because in classification and categorizing, we are able to find similar traits and understand the behavior of a particular object or a species or an animal. This is how science learns. Science knows. In the same way, there's a science of the subtle world. How do I transact with the subtle world of gods? That is called karma kand. So over here, Bhagavan is saying, the one who has done karma yoga alone is fit, and such a person is a sannyasi, can be a yogi, and not just a one who has just renounced actions, but a person abides in proper attitude in living. Continuing, yam sanyasamiti prahuhu yogam tam viddi pandava nahya sanyasta sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. This shloka is little involved. So we will see from this shloka onwards next class. So we will dive into the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi om. Shri Gurubhyo namaha. Harihi om.